Have you ever had that gut feeling that something was deeply wrong even when everyone around you seemed happy? Have you ever carried the weight of a secret that could destroy the happiness of someone you love? Today I'm sharing with you an exclusive story that less than 1% of people have had the courage to face, one that could literally save relationships and even lives. Before we dive into this extraordinary story that forever transformed a family, I want to invite you to join our community of people who value truth above all else. Click the subscribe button now. We're about to share a limited series of true stories like this over the next 30 days, and only our subscribers will have access to all the surprising details and outcomes. Don't miss this unique opportunity. Golden sunlight streamed through the stained glass windows of the small chapel, casting an almost celestial glow on the assembled guests. The air buzzed with anticipation as friends and family chatted in hushed tones, anxious glances directed toward the altar. Jason Bennett stood tall in his impeccable tuxedo, a nervous smile playing on his lips as he waited for his bride. "You look great, Dad," whispered 8-year-old Logan, adjusting the small ring pillow in his hands. The boy's dark curls were perfectly combed and his miniature suit matched his father's. But while Jason radiated happiness, Logan's brown eyes were clouded with a worry that no one else noticed, a concern that carried the weight of a devastating secret. Jason glanced down at his son and gave him a reassuring wink. "Thanks, champ. You're the best ring bearer a dad could ask for." He affectionately ruffled Logan's hair, completely oblivious to the anxiety etched across the child's face, a blindness that would almost cost him his life. As the first notes of the wedding march filled the air, everyone rose to their feet. All eyes turned toward the chapel doors except for Logan's. The boy kept his gaze fixed on his father, his small hands clutching the pillow so tightly his knuckles turned white. What no one knew was that in the next 48 hours this boy would be forced to make the hardest decision a child could face. The doors swung open, revealing Victoria in all her bridal glory. She glided down the aisle, a stunning vision in white lace and silk. Her golden hair cascaded over her shoulders in soft waves, and her blue eyes sparkled with emotion as she approached the altar. The perfect image of a loving bride, a mask so convincing it fooled everyone except one small observer. What no one realized in that moment, except Logan, was the meticulous plan Victoria had crafted over the past few months. A plan that began with small cruelties directed at a defenseless boy when no one was looking, and would culminate in Jason Bennett's death by a tragic accident just 2 weeks after the wedding. A plan that would net Victoria and her secret accomplice Robert nothing less than $5 million in life insurance. As the officiant spoke, Logan's mind drifted back to the signs he had noticed over the past few months, signs that an 8-year-old boy shouldn't have to interpret. The way Victoria completely changed when they were alone, the icy stare that replaced the warm smile, the cutting words whispered when his father was out of earshot. And then came the fateful night, just 2 weeks before the wedding, when Logan got up for a glass of water and overheard a conversation that froze his blood. "The insurance is ironclad, Robert. Once we're married, it'll be easy. A tragic accident, a grieving widow, and we're set for life." Victoria's words echoed in his mind like a recurring nightmare. In the days that followed, Logan did what no child should ever need to do. He became a desperate detective. He found the life insurance policy on Victoria's computer. He discovered photos of her with a man he'd never seen. Robert, a tall, dark-haired man with a scar above his left eyebrow. And most devastating of all, he overheard the complete plan to murder his father during their honeymoon. Now, standing at the altar as the officiant pronounced the fateful words, "If anyone can show just cause why this couple cannot lawfully be joined together in matrimony, let them speak now, or forever hold their peace." Logan faced not just the most crucial moment of his young life, but a decision that very few people would have the courage to make. What happened next shocked everyone present and forever changed this family's destiny. "Wait!" The word burst from Logan's lips before he could stop it. "Stop the wedding!" A collective gasp rippled through the church. All eyes turned to the small boy who stood trembling, his voice echoing in the sudden silence. What followed was one of the most intense confrontations that community had ever witnessed. Logan revealed everything: Victoria's cruelty when they were alone, the suspicious conversations with Robert, the life insurance, the photos, the plan for the accident on the honeymoon. As he spoke, Victoria's face transformed, the mask of sweetness giving way to a cold, calculating fury that no one had ever seen. "You little brat," she hissed, momentarily forgetting where she was. You've ruined everything." That moment of carelessness was all Jason needed. He saw for the first time Victoria's true face, and what he saw terrified him. As chaos erupted in the church, Victoria realized her plan was crumbling. In a desperate move, she fled down the aisle, her wedding dress billowing behind her like a vengeful ghost. What happened afterward moved even the experienced police officers investigating the case. Robert was captured trying to enter the church, and the investigation revealed a sophisticated scam operation that Victoria, whose real name was Samantha Connors, and Robert had been running for years. They had left a trail of broken hearts and empty bank accounts across the country, but had never attempted anything as deadly as their plan for Jason. 6 months later, when news of Victoria Samantha's death arrived, apparently by suicide in a Las Vegas motel room, Logan and Jason were beginning to rebuild their lives. They were closer than ever, strengthened by the storm they had weathered together. On an autumn afternoon, 1 year after the wedding that never happened, father and son sat by the edge of a crystal-clear lake during an outing, watching the sunset. "You know, Logan," said Jason, his eyes reflecting the golden light of the setting sun, "I realized something important. What Victoria did was terrible, but it taught me the most valuable lesson of my life." "What's that, Dad?" Logan asked. Jason smiled, affectionately ruffling his son's hair. "It taught me that the most important relationship in my life, the one I should always prioritize, is right here." He gently poked Logan's chest. "You and me, champ. We're a team, and nothing will ever change that." The story of Logan, the boy who stopped his father's wedding, became a testament to courage, intuition, and the unbreakable bond between father and son. It reminds us that sometimes the happiest endings don't come from fairy tale weddings, but from the simple, profound love of family. If this story touched your heart as it touched mine, be sure to subscribe now to access our next exclusive stories. Next week, we'll share only with our subscribers how to identify warning signs in potentially dangerous relationships. Information that can literally save lives. Do you believe you would have the same courage Logan had? Share in the comments a situation where your intuition or courage changed the course of your life. And don't forget to turn on notifications to be immediately notified when our next video drops. The next 5 stories in this series will be even more impactful and revealing, and you won't want to miss them.